Hello everyone and welcome back to another Birmingham Market Wholesale vlog. I woke up pretty early for this one. I think the market opens around 3:30 and we wanted to be there just at the opening time because we wanted to get back before work starts. We eventually got there around 3:45, which wasn't so bad. Also, because this wasn't our first rodeo, we knew what we were doing, we knew what we needed to do. And I also went with two of our friends, and before we got there, they got there before us, so they got us trolleys to use, and we got straight into shopping for all the things we needed. Started off with rice and some other things like Maggi, vegetable oil, and just like proper condiments and all of that. Then after doing that, we went off to get protein. After protein, we got tomato. The price of all the things, well, not necessarily all of them, but the price of some of the protein we got, they've just gone up, and I don't even know why, because the size is still the same. But yeah, I'll put the prices of all the things we got on the screen, and these prices are updated, and you can use this to plan for your next market trip. So for the prices of things I got gizzard for £2.50, tripe was £5, turkey was £40, hard chicken legs £32, wings was £12, scotch bonnets £20. So there were different types of scotch bonnets. I could have gone for the cheaper one, but I wanted a really hot one. Paprika was £10, bell peppers, that's the red bell peppers, £7, peeled garlic was £4, red onions £6. I'll leave the remaining prices of all the things I got on the screen so you guys can use that information. Hi guys, so I know that I've not spoken to you guys since in the morning when we went to Birmingham Wholesale Market, and now I'm just sort of arranging. Time is currently 4:42, so as I left all the meat and everything outside to defrost, but you guys will not believe that up to now it is still like everything that's still like gummed together and all that. So I want to come back to my freezer. I show you guys what my freezer looked like. And normally before, or let me not say before, like whenever we go to Birmingham Wholesale Market, whenever we buy stuff, what I do is that I put in, well, the first thing I do is that I wash it, like I wash all the meat and everything. Then after washing, I put in Ziplocs. Then I put them back in the carton, right? So that I know which one is which. And when it's time for me to like, what's the word? When it's time for me to like maybe take meat, I know that if I go to this carton, I'll see all the hard chicken, I'll see the drumsticks and all of that. But now, before we went to Birmingham Wholesale Market, right, we had one carton of hard chicken, and we also had like let me say half carton of hard chicken, and we also had half carton of drumsticks. No, actually, it's maybe close to a carton of drumsticks, because I just counted in like 100 pieces, right? To be honest, I did not check the freezer before going. And even though I checked the freezer, I would have still bought what I wanted to buy. But now we have way, like the proteins we have, like it's really it's a lot. So what I have to do is that I have to sort of change the way that we are arranging the proteins. So basically before I'll put in Ziploc, put in the carton, but now I'm just going to put in Ziploc and put it straight into the freezer. So yeah, we have to do that now. Well, can you see it? All right. Yeah, continue now. Breaker of turkey. Okay. Breaker of turkey and chicken wings.
Tolisi,
Ine. I love that you have humor. Is this your job? Hi guys, good morning. So I'm here to just continue with my Birmingham wholesale packing, and to some extent I just realized I'm actually in deep shit, right? Now let me explain what's going on. We filled the entire freezer with protein, right? But take note, your girl still has bell peppers, scotch bonnets, and plantain to freeze, right? And what I do with my plantain, scotch bonnet, and bell peppers is that, especially the scotch bonnet and the bell peppers, what I do is that if I'm using some for if I'm using some for jollof rice or stew, there's a way I make the base. So basically in the In the oven, I'm going to put scotch bonnet. I'm going to put like a little bit of scotch bonnet. I'm going to put onions. I'm going to put what again? I'm going to put scotch bonnet, onions, garlic, paprika, and bell pepper together. Then grill it, right? Then when it has fried for a bit, or oven baked for a bit, I'm going to bring it out. And I'm again, when I'm doing that, I'm also adding like a little bit of oil. And when I bring it out, I'm going to blend it, put it in cubes, and put it in the freezer. And I do that because when it's time for me to cook, I don't want to be prepping the stew base, right? And if I'm making stew base for, let's say, soup, right? Maybe a foriro, egusi, what I do is the paprika and bell pepper. No, I don't use bell pepper actually. I only use paprika. The paprika and I think onions, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember now because it's been a while. I put that on the stove and I boil it. Then when it has boiled a little bit, I blend it. So those are like two different bases, right? But now I'm just realizing that I'll show you guys what it looks like, the cubes. I'll show you guys what the pepper cubes look like, what the garlic. I did the same for garlic too. I blend the garlic and put it in cubes. So when it's time to use it, I just put it in the food and there's no cutting involved. I'll show you guys what each of them look like. I'll put like a screenshot or like a video of what each of them look like. But the whole point of this story is that there's no space in the fridge or rather in the freezer. So I sort of have to make space in this tiny thingy. But this place is also filled up. But yeah, it's filled up with things that I don't even know what they are. So I sort of have to just what's the word? Clear it up, basically. But now what I want to do is I want to start with the plantain because plantain is very important. I'm just thanking God. I was this close to buying yam yesterday. I was this close to buying yam and I was this close to buying a carton of yam because the last time I went, I bought a carton of yam for myself. And what I did was I cut into different shapes. The one for boiling, the one for frying, and the one for grilling. Then I froze it, right? I was this close to buying yam, but I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to need yam anytime soon because I've not really been eating yam, right? And even the plantain I got, normally when I buy plantain, over when we go and we buy plantain, I buy one carton for myself. This time around, I decided to share one carton with two of my friends. So it was divided by 3. So the plantain is not that plenty, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, where will I even put it? But I'm going to show you guys how I store my plantain. So for my plantain, I'm going to be cutting it in 3 different ways. The one for boiling, the one for grilling or frying, and the one for roasted plantain. So this is how I cut my plantain. Then I just put the next baking sheet on it. Then the plantain that I have cut, I place it again so that when everything freezes, it freezes like singularly on its own. Then I'll pack it in a Ziploc. So those are the 3 ways I'm going to cut it. I think the most important one I want to show you guys is the one for grilling or frying because I find that so many people have issues with that. They always say that, oh, when it's time for them to fry it, the plantain is like gum. What's the word? It's gummed together. I say jum. The plantain is like gum together and all of that. And I'll show you guys what I do to make sure that when it's time for me to fry my plantain or grill it, it comes out like one and this is perfect. Enough of the talking because I have a lot of things to do today. Let me just start my whatever. I'll cut the plantain, show you guys what I'm doing, then freeze it.